Hey, beautiful replay viewers. Because if you're seeing this part, you're seeing the replay. I just hit live. We're waiting for the folks to catch a clue, get on. Hey, beautiful replay viewers. Because if you're seeing this part, working out the tech difficulties, like turning our volume down. Becky, you're straightening yourself out, but we're already live. We're already live. Okay, straighten yourself out. Okay, they got to see that. All right, let's go check and make sure folks can hear us. You might want to fast forward 2 minutes. If you're seeing this replay view, we're just going to greet everybody, make sure people can see it. So tell them, Rebecca, to refresh the screen. Special backdrop tonight. Special backdrop. Our living room. We're on the laptop today because our house is absolutely destroyed. Shane. Shane can hear us. Jake. Max Happy Homestead. He must be able to hear us. Everybody's excited to be here, and except Adam. Sounds like he might.
Adam is here.
He might be getting left behind.
Hasn't started.
I know. Let's make sure Adam can hear us. Let's say hey to folks.
Tina, soothe the fire ant bite. You could put bentonite clay on it. That would help. If you have purification, the essential oil, you can put that on it. That is also really good. Trying to think of what else that you could put on it. Ledum pastule is a homeopathy remedy that you can take internally to help with bug bites, as well as apis is also a homeopathy remedy to take for bug bites. But you probably don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else you could put on it.
Tina Nurse in the house. Shane.
Even better, don't get bitten.
I see Adam Adam
Shane's
did get in.
He's cheeky too.
Now they're ganging up on us. No. Me and Adam. Yeah, it slowed me down a little bit, Adam. I was 2 minutes late. God forbid. 2 minutes late. I'll blame it on my foot. Speaking of foot, I got to take my medicine. Thank God this is not the crazy tea.
Oh yeah, you don't have to take anymore. But I have
she
one
makes
more.
Me drink this
I have one more for
tea.
tomorrow.
So I want you guys to answer in the chat. Do you like to drink cayenne pepper? Also, do you like to drink juiced ginger? What else is in that?
Lime juice.
Do you like to drink straight up lime juice?
Well, it's watered down. There's
and then
water
what
added
else?
And honey.
People like to drink honey.
Yeah.
But 3 out of 4 ingredients. People saying no. Jake does not like to drink cayenne pepper. Okay, so that's not what this is right here. This is not. This pales in comparison to that.
That's Cryptolepis and Echinacea.
I should have drank that crazy tea in front of them.
You should have. It is pretty funny.
It's always better with friends.
None of those sun-founded.
Okay, well, how about blending all those together, putting a little bit of warm water in there, and then drinking?
Well, and they even call for more ginger than I gave you. I toned it down.
She's easy.
I toned down the ginger and I increased the honey, and you were still struggling.
You know who could probably handle that drink?
Who?
Ben Holler.
Oh, I bet Ben would really like that.
It's like drinking. What's that crazy thing you used to make me? Hot? No, it's a thing. It's with apple cider vinegar.
Oh, fire cider.
Fire cider.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get me a kombucha. Actually, I'm gonna get me a water.
Well, get me one too, please. You can't have it by yourself. You didn't want to share?
I did.
Okay, we got a good amount of questions tonight. Oh, let me ask you guys a question right off the bat, because we're about to launch the fall membership registration. We got a lot of new things coming, guys. I haven't told anybody this yet, but we're bringing in guest instructors. You guys are going to be very excited about it. I cannot wait. We have new discounts from different companies. You guys are getting in on all that. What?
Who drank this?
Oh no! Somebody drank her. Is that the only one?
That is my only water keeper.
Oh no!
Punk children.
Oh boy, they better be glad they're not here. Somebody drank Rebecca's last water kefir. Okay, hi Mike Bacati. Good to see you in the house. What was I saying? Oh, we're gonna have guests in the creating videos. Casey Ostwich, alumna. So Casey Ostwich is gonna do market gardening year round. And guys, whether you're not you market garden, you can learn from Casey. I have. Cheers. And then alumna cold weather. Do you guys know he's in like 4B up in New Hampshire, zone 4B? He's going to do cold weather homestead updates. And Jason from Sutherland, 3 different videos on 3 different homestead builds that are useful for the homestead. His garden cart, the greenhouse, the what else?
The
the veggie washing station, and then the Holler Homesteads on how to leave your job and do the homestead thing. So I'm excited for that. But my question for you guys is, on these live premium shows, would you like to add? You could say no. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. Would you like to add? Okay, 1 week we do the question and answer like we always have. The next week or the next time, the third Sunday. Say we do the first and third Sundays. What about if the third Sunday we had a guest, and it was it would have to be Jason from Sutherland, and we'd switch between him. I think the Hollers might be able to do it, but Casey Oswich would definitely be interested in doing it. I could do what?
Are you talking about doing them live here at the house?
Yeah.
Or
I think that would be better.
switch it in.
I know.
I know.
And maybe we would have to do that, but I think it would be better if they came here.
Okay, are you looking at my food?
But anyway, I want you guys to tell me, yes, guests on the webinar, or no, you just want to do question and answers all the time. Now, when the guests come, we could still do question and answers, but it's probably going to be more like Rebecca and I interviewing them, talking to them, and answering some of your questions.
With us.
We're going to try, Tina. We're going to get them to come here. If they can't come here, we can phone them in and they would be on the live show. Somehow we'll figure out how to do that. So, yes. So Mike mentioned we've had part-time permies here. We've had Ken here. We've had the Hollers, or the Hunts were here one time for the butchering. And then so that was good. When those guests came, it was really nice. So it was a new dynamic, and I thought it was good, but I want to make sure you guys think it's good and worth our effort. So, all right, let's go into the questions. All right, let me pull up the question, guys. Hopefully all the folks are in here. And why can I not find these questions? Okay, they're in the show notes. Guys, the questions are in the show notes tonight. You probably need that window, don't you, Rebecca?
I do.
Okay. We don't need this window.
Can you read that? But don't say it out loud.
Yeah. And then, can you help me find this?
What you're looking for?
I need to find the show notes to this. There it is. Thanks. Okay. So right off the bat, how much should I feed?
Can I put this on my phone? Because then I could read the.
Yeah, that would probably be better. But then it would kind of look like you're fooling around on the phone. But I guess you have to.
Well, I could at least read them here and respond there.
If you have our YouTube username and stuff in there, maybe you can. How much should I be feeding 21 chickens if I'm soaking, fermenting their feed, and giving them about 5 to 10 pounds of chicken scraps and fresh veggies? I get them from my neighbor's farm. My chickens always seem famished. So that chickens do always seem famished, and they don't think you're ever going to feed them again. So they're shoving it in. They're filling up that crop.
They don't think you're ever.
No, they don't. They don't trust you.
Is this what? Yeah, that's it.
No matter how much you love them, they don't trust you. So Rebecca has figured out because we don't have our big computer, guys. I'm so sorry. We're looking at this tiny laptop. She's not being rude. She's looking at her phone and actually looking at y'all's chats.
Oh, here we go. Someone said on the chat we could do this. And then we could do that. Sorry. Wait. There they are. There it is, right there.
Oh.
But how do I get to it?
What do you mean? You get to it right here. Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, it's like not scrolling. You can keep going.
Anyway, I guess I can answer your questions.
Oh, there we go.
So 1/3 a pound a day dry weight of feed per hen. If you give them more than that, they'll eat more than that. And I'm talking about commercial feed. I'll get to your question about scraps. So 1/3 pound a day dry weight, and that needs to be it. Otherwise, they'll eat too much, and that can actually affect their laying in a negative way. If you're soaking it, I think you can get away with 1/4 pound of feed. You still weigh it dry. You still weigh out 1/4 pound of dry weight per chicken. So if you had 10 chickens, that'd be 2.5 pounds. And then you would soak it and feed it to them the next day and then redo it. So you had 21 chickens, so it'd be like 5-ish pounds. But now you're throwing in kitchen scraps too. Now, problem is a lot of kitchen scraps don't have a lot of meat on them. So I generally say, though, 1/2 pound of kitchen scraps per chicken. So I guess if I'm going to have a general rule of thumb, it's going to be 1/2 pound of kitchen scraps per chicken if you're feeding kitchen scraps, 1/3 pound commercial grain if you're doing that, and 1/4 pound if you're soaking it. How do you do that if you don't have enough kitchen scraps for your whole flock? How do you blend that? That's tough. And I don't really have an answer for you unless you're going to geek out on the math on that. I don't really have the answer for you. So how do we deal with it? Generally, we give them their feed. I just estimate. And we've done that with the pigs before too. And pigs, 1 pound a day of grain per month they've been old every day. So if they're 6 months old, they get 6 pounds of feed. But what if you have 12 pounds? You have a couple pigs and you have 12 pounds of table scraps. So I just go for it and just wing it and watch them. One way you can test chickens is go out there in the evening and look at their crops on the left side of their neck. They should have this ball of food there. If that's totally, completely empty, they probably didn't get enough to eat that day. But if it's got something in it, they've got something going in at night, they're good. Now, so then just adjust it and go with it. Chickens are pretty resilient. Pigs are pretty resilient. They'll work with you. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're feeding 100% food scraps, you're not going to get the consistent egg production. It's not going to hurt them. It's probably better for them because it's fresher and more diverse, but you're just not going to get that production consistency. So it's up to you. I mean, less costly food, less eggs. So you have to figure out what your priorities are. There were when we could barely afford any kind of organic feed, we fed food scraps and we were happy with that.
Yeah, we used to go
egg production.
The grocery store and pick up all there. There's an organic grocery store in town. We pick up so much produce from them and bread.
Yep. Are you watching that? Do you need to chime in on anything on that?
No, you don't.
We currently have, hey, this is Adam. We currently have a Dexter cow that meets our milk needs, but the cream line is minimal. If we were to switch breeds, would you recommend a mini Jersey or a Jersey? Thanks, Adam.
Are you calf sharing, Adam?
He is.
If you're calf sharing, it's the cream line is because you're calf sharing.
We just found that out then.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't want to believe it.
Because
until I saw that amazing cream line where it's like this thick.
When we took Nellie off of Phyllis, we started getting that much cream in 1/2 gallon. No kidding. Versus that. I showed it in the vlog. And as a result, we're probably going to wean Bessie earlier. Yeah. Because we're not keeping that cow ourselves. Now, if we were going to keep that cow maybe as our own family milk cow, we might milk her. Let her run its course. But
okay, so we did get she does. She holds it to the end. Okay, so as far as the Dexter cow, when we had our American milking Devons, we got the same type of cream line. Now, with the Jerseys, we did get more cream than we did with the American milking Devons when we were sharing. But let me tell you, I'm all like, I don't know if I want to calf share anymore. I mean, like, we'll do it for a good 5 to 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
But then I'm like, they're getting cut off.
At least 5 months, at least 6 months.
Yeah, I definitely think that
means it's time to cut Bessie off. And we didn't know that cows were okay milking just once a day, even with no calf.
Yeah, we didn't realize that.
When we learned that from my father's farm.
Yeah, Josh at my father's farm.
That's what he does with his whole dairy.
Yeah,
they
his
only
whole
milk
dairy.
once a day. And most of them aren't calf sharing.
Excuse me, y'all.
So what'd you say? You didn't ever answer his question.
So you could get more.
Well, I guess you said wean that calf.
Well, you will get a thicker milk line. Like, so when we had our American milking Devons, it was like that. And then, the Jerseys was more like that when we were calf sharing. So you did get more, but then like, it's like this big with not calf sharing. So.
Yes, Adam, we just milk once a day. Also, so Matt Cappy's Homestead just milks once a day, no calf sharing.
Okay.
I bet they get a lot of cream.
So
they're always holding cream back for that calf.
They are. So Max Happy Homestead. Okay, did you calf share at all? Like how did you do it? Can you type out what you did if it's not too hard?
So while he answers that, we'll answer this other question.
It's whatever time is best for you.
You got to read that question for the replay
If
viewers.
you milk only once a day, what is the best time to milk then? You can milk in the evening or in the morning. You just have to do it at the same time or around the same time. It doesn't have to be exact.
And one reason we resist that for so long is because that's a 7-day a week.
Mm-hmm.
You can't skip a day. But when you have a calf on it, you can skip a day. But it's been a long time since we skipped a day.
We've been doing the 7 days a week.
Who cares? We just get. Our rest day is now on Saturday. I'll take a bulletproof coffee down there. The other days of the week I don't. So just make something a little different, make it a little treat. Kind of feels more like a rest when I got my coffee out there with me.
Okay, so what do you do with the calf? Max Happy Homestead said, not at all. We simply raise them to milk once a day. We milk in the morning at 4:30 to 5 every morning. So Max Happy Homestead, how do you then like milk and then feed the calf milk? And for how long? Now, I don't know if we want to do that, but I'm just curious. Hey, Diane, she's here. And Scott is here, too. He's late, but here.
Scott's here. Diane's here. We're going to answer some of Diane's questions.
Jake says your kombucha needs cayenne, ginger, and lime.
Jake, I'm going to give you some cayenne, ginger, and lime.
No, Diane, I don't think you've missed your question. Unless you were.
Nope, she hasn't missed it.
Okay, you haven't missed your question yet.
We're barely into this.
No, we're only 2 questions in.
Adam's hogging the show so far. Just kidding, Adam.
Okay, Benjamin asks, hold on, since this is related. How much acreage do you need per cow? Let's say we had 5 acres. How many could the land support? I would say, well, it depends upon how good your fields are.
Because the general rule is 2 acres per cow.
Per cow. But people have
gotten cold climate, or that's cold temperate climate.
Have people gotten it down to 1 acre per cow?
Yeah, I think so. But
it's really
we're talking
good.
about raising them on that year round, getting hay from that yourself, or stockpiling hay. And you could double that. You could make it more efficient and turn it from 2 acres to 1. But most I'd say general rule 2 acres per 1 cow.
Also, I think that you could have more cows, but you would need to feed hay.
Okay.
So like but then you'd have to import hay. So then it would be more expensive. You could have more cows, but you would have to import hay. So
yeah. All right, let's talk about broody mamas first. My broody hen has hatched 5 chicks so far. She's been sitting on 14 or so eggs. About 1 week, let's talk about that. Well, best practice is to do 8 eggs. Because if they have more, they can't quite keep them all warm. So that might lead into maybe some of the problem we have here. About 1 weekend, a friend of mine was collecting eggs and accidentally took a couple out from under her before he realized she was sitting. He ended up putting extra eggs under her because he wasn't sure which ones were. Can you come back over here and get my words going?
Yeah.
Which ones were hers? Oops, she'd still be sitting on those eggs. How long will she sit? So that could be a problem because I don't understand if they're are they putting hatched eggs under there? That could be a problem because they're going to have different hatch out days, and she'll probably just get up. At some point, she's going to get up because she's going to need to take care of those 5 chicks that are alive. So I don't blame you for what you did. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but the idea is that the mama hen will want to get up and help the chicks that are alive, and really they only wait, from my experience, 48 hours. Well, that's 4 days.
2 days.
No, that's 2 days. Yeah, 48 hours, and they leave the abandoned eggs. Now, you could have another problem if they don't, because those brand new chicks are going to need to be taken care of. But in that case, you could just take and minister to those chicks.
Okay.
It wouldn't be that.
So somebody said you could candle them.
And Diane, is this your question? She said yes, she had eggs added for weeks. What does that mean, Diane? I'm sorry.
I think she kept adding. I think that she kept adding eggs in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She won't. She's probably going to get up, but maybe she won't. But you'll need to. I guess you could get the chicks out from underneath her and put them in a brooder, but you don't want to make that mama hen sit too long. She's hardwired to sit there, well, at least 21 days to hatch, but she's been sitting a little bit before that. So they're not eating a lot. Their bowel movements aren't going through a lot, so you don't want them to be broody too long. So I would say what? In this case, I think I would collect the chicks that are hatching and put them in a brooder and give that mama one more week, and then you're going to have to call it and break her of the brood, which you can get a dog crate or something like that and put her in it. No bedding, just water and food.
Diane
and we're going to have to call the eggs a loss.
She wants to avoid the brooder, she said.
Well, I don't know what to say, Diane.
Okay.
Well, you could pull all those other eggs and just call them a loss. You could give her, since those have hatched and if she's still sitting, I would maybe let her sit another week, and then you're gonna have to call it, because then she's just gonna sit there too long and she's gonna be malnourished. So
okay, so somebody wanted to know at what age is a good age to let the guineas out of the coop to free range. Right now they're 7 to 8 weeks old. I would keep them in there longer, but that's me. I don't know. Doug and Stacy said white millet is like crack to them, so I don't know. You could like start feeding them that, and then maybe they'll come back. I have no idea.
Mm.
When are we gonna let our guineas out?
Like 2 weeks ago. As soon as we can get to it.
Okay.
Now you're looking at me funny.
Well, no.
Guess what? Guess what? We have to build a guinea shop.
I know.
When are we gonna do that? You got me building this kitchen.
You aren't doing nothing. You're writing a check.
You got me building this cooler.
You're writing checks.
Yeah, right.
To the people who are doing
in the evening, in the morning,
I know,
doing dishes by hand out on the porch.
Well, we're hoping to get the.
I do blame the foot. Thank you, Adam. Adam's on my team. He's on my side.
You know, it's funny because when my foot was hurt, when I had the pitchfork, and everyone was like, "Oh, the hand's worse. The hand's worse," and I'm all like, I mean, pain-wise, I'm sure the hand was way worse, painful-wise. But anyways, okay. There's another question. We're new to dairy. Would you recommend going straight to a cow or start with goats?
Cow. Oh my gosh, cow. Straight to the cow. Run to the cow. Get away from the devil eyes. No, before it's too late. No.
We actually have 2 heifers. Like Nellie is for sale, and Bessie's gonna be for sale really soon.
Yeah, and they're not really,
goats equal gross.
We might even have to drop our price a little bit. I mean, I'm keeping Stud Muffin in 1,200-pound bull with a little strand of electric fence.
Yeah,
they are underbrushing. Everybody's saying, "Oh, good goats." Why? My cows are eating poison ivy. They're eating bramble. They're crushing things. The pigs come behind them. Get it even further, and both those are much tastier than goats.
Goats are pretty tasty.
Not as tasty. And then lambs too. Sheep will underbrush too, just about as good as a goat.
Which we're putting those sheep when they get tame up there.
What's his name said? Why can I not think of his name right now?
Greg Judy?
No.
I don't know.
Spiral Ridge Permaculture.
Cliff
Davis. So, and sheep are more tastier than goats.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to eat a goat. We eat a goat. We will love to eat a goat. But,
someone says they weigh less if they step on you.
They're hard to keep in. Now listen, here's the problem with devil eyes.
The
problem is they have to eat half of their diet in bramble. Sheep don't. Sheep can eat 100% grass. Cows can eat 100% grass. Goats have to have half of their diet in bramble to thrive. Okay, so that's wooded area, half wooded area, half grass. So if you had an electric fence, and then you would need to move it every week. So have a fence. It could be a Premier One electric fence.
And drop, cut and bring, or whatever.
I mean, if you want to, but you can't do that during the winter.
Yeah,
well, I guess you can. I don't know. What do you do with goats in the winter for that?
I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, the problem is that bramble, what Stud Muffin and the pigs have done out there. If I was to rotate back in there, that bramble's not coming back in 80 days or in a season. It's going to take years. Okay, so eventually your goat is eating you out of house and home, and you wonder why it's got all these sicknesses and illnesses and it's getting out all the time and blah. So if you're afraid because the goats are smaller and cows are so big, do like Adam said and get you a Dexter. They're like this tall.
Yeah, Dexters are
Or get
smaller.
you a mini Jersey. Right, Adam? Can I get a amen? Or do we have any goaters in here?
That we have goaters. We have some
but
goaters.
Jake says, does sheep or goat do parkour? I like that.
Okay. Hold on, let's go back.
We got some goaters. Okay, let's hear the other side. It's fair enough. I'll give you the platform, you goaters.
So Anita says, if you have room, I'd do a cow too. What if you have only 3 acres? Crystal says, goat or cow?
Cow all day long. Cow if you have a half an acre. Yes, cow if you have a half an acre. If you can import wood chips, if you have the local public works or you'd like local electric company, and you can get that, and you can have a covered shed, and you can import hay. I would feed hay every day to a cow if I was in a place where I could get affordable hay and wood chips. I would have a shed on my 1/4 acre where Danelle lives.
Yeah.
In Arizona, where you're in a suburbia and can have cows and pigs and whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Gosh, you got me excited.
Linda says goats are funny though, which I have heard that. And they are really cute as babies. You can't deny that. Okay. Anita Johnson says they weigh less if they step on you. Laugh out loud.
That's fair.
That's true.
Highlands are pretty small too.
Somebody wanted. Then Crystal says cows need another animal, don't they? Aren't they a herd animal?
But so do goats.
But so are goats. So you'd have to have more than one goat. And the thing I think with the goats is that they eat you out of house and home. They eat you the bramble eventually. You
can keep a cow as a family cow and have it all by itself.
You can.
It will do okay. It's like a pig would prefer a wallow. A duck would prefer a pond, but they don't have to have it.
Yeah. I will tell you this. So the first cow we ever bought was a grass-fed, supposed to be steer. We were just buying one because we didn't want to go in too much. The guy saw us coming a mile away, brought us a heifer instead of a steer, even though we told him we wanted a steer. So we had this one heifer by herself, and she did really good. And then she went into heat, and she went berserk. And it was a little rough, but we had her alone for 3-4 months, and she did okay. I mean, we ended up eating her.
Now, Tika is wondering, what about shelter? That's another thing. Goats have to have shelter, don't they, from the rain? Yes, they do. Cows do not have to have shelter from the rain, unless you're in Wyoming. If you're in Wyoming, I think there's sometimes wind blocks for cows.
Yeah. Okay. Linda says she lives in nothing but bramble. She's getting goats.
That's fine.
More power to you. But you just have to have a lot of them.
Believe it or not, we may even get goats one day, but we're eating them when they're done. We're eating them.
And we're not getting dairy goats.
No.
Like, I feel like there's such a difference. Like, meat goats, dairy goats, like, it's all a different thing. It's like really, with Stud Muffin and Bear. We'll put them in the woods to eat
That's right.
The more brambly stuff, but we're not putting Phyllis and Flossie in there because there are dairy cows and they need the really good grass. We want to keep them healthy.
And that'd be another reason to have a bull all the time. Is now I'm thinking, well, we don't have to get no devil eyes ever. Because now we have the sheep. So between the cows, the cows go in the forest first, then the sheep, then the pigs. We don't need the devil eyes.
We don't.
And
I don't love goat. I do love some goat, but I like sheep better.
Okay, shelter for a cow. You don't need it, but yeah, you would like a nice place to milk it, right? And you don't have it. I would totally vote carport.
What is that?
It's Jonah. He must be coming down to do chores. A carport or a carport-like structure, but like if you want something that's easy to put together, get $1,100 carport at Northern Tool. Or where do we get that carport? It's amazing the versatility of that thing.
Shut that door. Okay.
And it could be your dairy parlor.
Okay, hold on 1 second. What do I do? Okay. Adam says you can pull the horns on goats or cows.
Are you grabbing that goat by the horns?
Because we pull Flossie's horns. Our bramble comes back if you just blink. Be nice, Justin. Be nice, Justin. She cooks your meals. Happy wife, happy life. So Max Happy Home says you can do intensive grazing, rotational grazing with a cow. Yeah. Or with a, I'm assuming.
Somebody says, can you raise a cow in a single year? Yes, buy a 1-year-old steer locally, kill it in the fall. Buy it in the spring, kill it in the fall. We used to do that every year and would raise it for ourselves and for other people. It worked out great.
Crystal, I believe that you can put it with another animal. It does not have to be a cow.
Mm-hmm.
You could put it with a pony.
In fact, we're going to get
kids
these
would love you.
We're getting sheep, guys, first week of September. And Greg Judy done told us you got to keep the ram out of the ewes. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's going to have to be by himself somewhere, unless somehow we ran him with stud or got him a donkey.
The kids want a donkey. Maybe we will.
So that's it too. A lot of people run their ram and bull together, but we're just not quite set up for that. Because sheep don't stay in easy either. I mean, a bull, one strand of electric fence. It's amazing.
Well, doesn't Greg Judy have his sheep trained just 2 strands of electric? He was talking about that.
I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but it's minimal. And I think they're trying to get it down to 1 or try to get it down to where they can actually run them with the cows. Cindy's here. All right, we better get going through these questions, Rebecca. We got 25 minutes. Okay, this is the forest pigs. How's that going? It's actually going really good. They're doing really great. We're supposed to be moving them tomorrow, so I'll be shooting them tomorrow for the vlog. And
you will be filming them.
Filming them. Oh, sorry, not shooting them. Filming them. That's what I mean by shooting here. I can see the confusion. They've done one whole strip. We're behind and cutting behind them, but they're very happy. Jill King wants the recipe for bulletproof coffee. I thought I did a member video on the bulletproof coffee while we were on the road. Do you remember that? I filmed that in Arizona in the bus. Do you remember that, Rebecca? I could not find it. So I'm going to try to find that and put it up. And then you guys will get notified.
Hey, Michael. Video. Michael's there too.
Okay.
Are you offering some training with the sale of your heifer? Yeah, we will totally train you.
Yes.
With whatever you need to be trained.
If you came to pick up the heifer, we'll spend an hour or 2 hours with you.
Yeah, and we would be available to help you.
We'll give you tech support.
Yeah, we would definitely be available to help.
And if you're within 100 miles, we have a trailer now, and we could be for hire to haul her.
We bought a trailer. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yes, banding. Well, so we've banded before, and we've also cut. Who did we cut? Which
the pigs?
No. Did we cut Bear?
Yeah, we cut now.
Who did we band? Norris?
That was like one of the American milking diamonds way back.
We've banded and cut, but if they're small, I would not like ours.
Cut seemed to be the quickest, more humane way.
And it's like 100%.
Yep, banding.
With the banding, it could be if they're bigger.
Cindy, don't give her any ideas. Cindy's done telling you to buy a new farm truck.
An old farm truck. So
no,
it's probably, well, we might buy my parents' old truck.
I don't think it would pull a trailer, honey.
No, but we might just buy an old truck. Well, no, you know what the kids said to me the other day? They said, when you get your new van, I'm getting a new to me van. Eventually, not right now.
Our list is too long.
Okay, so
have to buy.
When Jonas says, can we keep your old van as a farm truck? And I said, well, I'll talk to your father.
That would be kind of fun.
Well, I think, we're going to use Justin's dad's truck as long as we can, and then we may have to buy.
Unfortunately, my dad has a very nice truck. It's very worthy to drive all the way to Missouri from North Carolina.
Yeah.
It would haul the weight. No problem. Air conditioning works.
You can rent a truck now.
Not with a bumper pull?
Yes. Enterprise does a business.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just found that out.
They'll let you. They know you're hauling something.
Yes. They know you're hauling something, and they're totally fine with it.
It was one way they wouldn't do that.
Correct.
Okay.
No. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Also, Jill King wants Anna's homemade salad dressings.
Okay.
I don't think she makes any dressings. We have Darcy's dressing.
Darcy's dressing.
We only eat Darcy's dressing. Which is that public somewhere?
I think it is. Let me look it up.
All right. I'll keep asking questions. Now that you're hurt both, Adam, here you are. Cheeky. Now that you hurt both hand and foot, which is harder to overcome? I'm going to ask you guys. Would you rather lose the function of your left hand or the function of your right foot? We asked that several months ago in this webinar because Rebecca had the foot injury and I had the hand injury all at once. And now I've had both. And I will tell you, yep, Cindy's taking the hand. Okay, I'm going to agree with Cindy. Yeah. It's easier to keep going with just one hand. Let's see what Cindy's saying. Crystal's left hand. Adam's going to take his foot.
That's because he wants to sit around. I know, Adam. I know what you want. He's like, I'm going to let somebody else do the chores around here.
He's going to keep his hands for
eating.
Okay. Mark B takes the left hand.
Okay. I would 100% take a hand.
Well, you don't know yet.
Well, I don't want to I don't want to cut nothing.
Okay.
I want to keep all
my
faculties.
You should be more careful. I have about 10 tomato plants. Oh, you're going to love this question, Rebecca. On our back deck, only a few inches off the ground. These plants are all in a 5-gallon bucket and still had a lot of hornworms on them. I found 5 in 2 days. I did a lot of damage, but most still are alive. How do these little critters go into plants even when they are in buckets? After using some mule engineer gloves to pick them off, I'm a female. Don't want to touch those things with bare hands. Oh, I don't want to touch them with bare hands either.
I snipped off
I saw you do that with your worms you found on your plants when I started watching your videos about 2 to 3 years ago and fed them to your chickens. I wished we had some chickens to feed them to. Love your whole family and what you're teaching. So she wants to know how they get on there, but I don't know if I know that.
I think that because the hawk moth is what they turn into. So I'm assuming that the hawk moth lays eggs or whatever on your tomato plant or in the ground or something. I don't know. I haven't studied it.
Yeah.
But they come from a moth. So I'm assuming because they come from a moth, that's how come they get all over the place and that they can get on that.
Oh, yeah. Now, Max Family Homestead brings up a good point with his hands.
Uh-huh.
It is hard to milk with just one hand.
It is, but you can't even get down to the milk station with one foot. Okay. Tina says their eggs are laid in the dirt. So I bet the hawk moth laid the eggs in the dirt of the 5-gallon bucket.
Where is our moth?
It's over there on the ground. I'm still trying to find.
You think it's still alive?
I think this is it.
You found the recipe?
Uh-huh.
Oh, here we go. What is it for?
Yes, so this is the recipe. Let me copy it, and I'll send it to you.
So she's going to get the recipe, and you're going to put it in the show notes, right? Rebecca, we're going to put the show notes for Darcy's dressing, the only salad dressing we use.
Sometimes
so we
Anna
put
makes
some
other
tomato
ones.
plants in here. We put a hornworm in this jar. It's in the soil. This thing's actually going to turn into a moth and come flying out if we haven't killed it somehow.
I know. I'm
What's the
afraid
time frame
it
on
may have
that?
died 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
No.
No?
But
Okay.
the tomato rooted. Look at that. Look at that. This
Wow.
tomato.
The tomato's still going. It hasn't had any water.
That's crazy.
Is he in there?
He's got to be in here.
Flossie
The tomato
says
is taking root.
she hates the injured hand.
Shut that door.
Yeah, she doesn't put up with that. It takes twice as long to milk.
Okay.
Justin, when you planted, this is a good question. Justin, when you planted your fruit trees, did you how'd you do it? Did you use a weed barrier? Or did you use mulch? No and yes. We tried to use 8 inches of mulch. That's supposed to be textbook for weeds not being able to grow through. 8 inches, but I guess here in the temperate rainforest of Western North Carolina, 8 inches isn't enough, and grass weeds started to come up through, so we went back through and we sheet mulched with, what is that paper? Can you think of it?
It's weed barrier paper.
We had weed barrier paper. It's eco, non-toxic. Weed barrier paper that we put down and then put more mulch over it. And we did that in our blueberries and really only in our raspberries. Really, you do that twice a season, you're good. It doesn't, I mean, here, weeds are just proficient. They start growing on top of the mulch.
Yeah.
So I would recommend doing that twice. Once in when you plant it, and then again, probably right about now, like weeds hit hard again in like July, and then it eases off.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried the bug assault gun for your flies? I've never heard of the bug assault gun. Have you?
I have. I've seen it. Yonder Way has it.
Oh, do they use it a lot?
Yeah, she likes it.
Because it doesn't mess up your walls and countertops.
No, but does it leave salt?
So see if they're even here. They might not even be here.
There's
We
salt.
currently lost our whole garden to herbicide. Oh, this is poor Adam. Adam, okay. Other folks, can you chime in on this? Because Adam and I have already talked about this. So listen to this story, guys, and let's help Adam out. We currently lost our whole garden to herbicide vapor drift.
That's insane.
So that's a neighbor spraying his hay. The herbicide vapor drift came over into his garden and killed it and wiped it out.
That stinks.
When you
so
guys
bad.
have had a major setback, what kept you going? So I don't know if he's not looking for solutions here. He's looking for, how do you keep going? So guys, how do you keep going when you have a major setback? And what do you think some of our major setbacks were, and how did we keep going? I would say
Okay.
some major setbacks included Luce and Violet.
Yeah.
That was our milk cow that couldn't eat our grass. Because when you lose a cow and you only have one, you're out of milk.
Yeah.
And we had to start over by buying more. And you can't always buy cows and milk that are in milk.
Yeah.
And then you saw when I bought these 2 more, they had to be trained. It was 2 weeks ordeal.
But just knowing that, like, I think the whole thing with this is like with homesteading, like something always fails in homesteading every year.
And this is what gets you going.
Well, this is what gets me through it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I planted all that in the spring and I was like, okay, I know some of this isn't even going to come up.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to do it anyways because it might. So it's just like, I feel like just like the mindset. But I mean, I'll be honest, like your whole garden, that would be really hard. I mean, that is equivalent to Violet. And I cried a lot when we lost Violet and had to make that decision. Like I cried for weeks.
Yeah. It's hard
It was
because
awful. Ugh.
you just learn from your experiences, is see if there is our way to change the outcome next time. Yep. So Cindy takes it as a learning opportunity. Someone recommends focus on why you started growing your own food. Start with focus on that and try to get
Someone
Try
says,
again.
I
Learn
tried
from the past
something.
and just plant.
Morse Mountain Farm says, I tried something new that I've been putting off and take a short break from whatever we failed at to research. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a good word. Read that one again.
Try something new that I have been putting off and take a short break from whatever we failed at to research it.
Okay. Yeah, like when we lost the sheep, that was pretty bad too.
Yeah, that was
real bad.
Last year was a really hard year.
Because we lost all the 4 of the 5 sheep.
Yeah.
We got this little harvest off that 5th sheep. And we basically had to wait. It was last year.
It'll be 13 months.
But when will we even be able to harvest these guys? Never. So they're coming in September.
We'll put them in December.
They're getting pregnant in December. They're going to have babies in May. And it won't be until another year.
Then it'll be almost a whole
So we eat somebody.
So it'll be 18 months. So it'll be 2.5 years.
2.5 years setback, y'all. But I guess what gets us through that, Rebecca, is I haven't even thought about that much. Because we don't only have lambs.
Yeah.
We have pigs.
But that's
cows,
his whole garden.
Gardens.
Like, I mean, that's all he lost his whole garden.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, because you still have your milk cow and you have other things that could be like.
That's probably what is actually getting you through it.
Yeah. Let's see. Diane says that's tough, but going through trials makes you stronger in the end. Crystal says, man, that stinks. I'd focus on why you just started growing your own food to begin with. Focus on that and try to learn.
I already read that.
Okay. We don't know if this is. Adam, is there a way that you could call the farmer, know who they are, and ask when they're going to spray? And I don't know how big your garden is, but getting you some plastic, just put it over it or something.
Oh, that's a good
when
point.
He's going to spray.
And long term, are there shrubs that he could install that are already mature?
I mean,
junipers.
Mature trees are going to be expensive because, like, we planted those junipers over at that house.
Oh, those take forever.
But it was taking forever. There is the Leland cypress that you can do it. Okay, Life on Rye Farm says this is different. Do you hornworms eat the stems or just the leaves? I have some stems bitten off a couple tomato plants.
Yes.
Yes, they will.
Okay.
I think also.
So I've got one more question in the forum, Rebecca, and then it's going to be about time to sign off. Might take a few more questions live if you've got them.
Hold on one second. I have to say this.
Sure.
Tika Farm, their mower broke, so they hired a landscaper until they got a new mower, and he weed whacked their whole garden.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
So awful. It's so awful. I can't even imagine that. One time Justin did
I knew you got to bring that up. That's why you want to read
plants.
that? I string trim 1 pepper plant.
Six pepper plants.
6 pepper plants. I never live it down. That was years ago.
Yeah, somebody did run over our landscaper. Run over our blueberries. That was really sad. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Your dad's landscaper.
Yes. Hey, Rebecca, you got to learn how to forgive.
I forgive you, but I just think it's hilarious.
Okay, you got to learn how to forget. Gosh.
I'm really sorry, Tika Farm. I understand a little bit of what you just went through.
It's terrible. I'm sorry. And thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you, Adam, for sharing. I wish there was something we could say to make you feel better, but I want to say to you guys, I don't have the words. I can't. It's so tough. It's not that I can fix it, but I want to just say thank you for sharing that with us. That means a lot to me and to the people of the community. So thank you.
Technically, he's damaging his property. Solution. So if he doesn't agree to something reasonable like that, it's a potential lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like.
Yeah, so I think it's probably you're right for you to know when he's spraying, and to give you plenty of notice.
Yeah.
And now listen, who was this that told us this story? Somebody was buying chicks. And it was where is he? Somebody was buying chicks, and Daniel Rizza. Why aren't you here tonight, Daniel? He was buying chicks, and Daniel said to them, "Oh, I noticed they're vaccinated. Can I just not get them vaccinated?" And the grower said, "Oh, why not?" And this was a friendly conversation. And he said, "Oh, well, because I'm growing them at home. They're going to have open air. They're going to be outside, clean water, plenty of room, lots of sunshine. They just don't really need it." And really what that was designed for is the chickens going into the closed knit places, type factory type style. And the grower said, "Oh, really? I've never even thought about it. I think we're going to just stop
Getting
vaccines." So it's like sometimes they're not even thinking, they're not even thinking at all, even about the harm of it, and maybe aren't even attached to that. They're not even convicted about that philosophy or way. They just don't know, or they just do it because that's just what's done.
Yeah.
But I know Josh at my father's farm, he'll offer 20% more per hay bale. Well, he'll contract and get unsprayed hay and 20% more for cutting it earlier. But
he'll pay 20% more for cutting it earlier.
But I don't know. I don't know if you need hay, but maybe he could become your customer. Maybe, or maybe he could become your supplier.
They can't pinpoint. They can't 100% pinpoint.
Oh, they don't know which farm it was.
Could maybe? I'm assuming you must live around several farms. Then, is it like? Are you surrounded? Ugh, that's hard. Okay. That's so hard.
So, Laura, let's get to this.
What happens if you grew in like a high tunnel, or not a high tunnel, a caterpillar tunnel?
Probably gonna be too hot, honey.
Well, you roll up the sides. Casey.
Okay, wouldn't it still blow in there?
I don't know. He could roll down the sides if he knew when it was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could just contact all of them and just say, "Hey, this is what happened to us. We're just looking for some answers."
Gosh, I'm sorry.
We're just looking for some answers. Like, I know this might be a lie. We're not upset. We just want to talk to people and find out like who's doing what. And that Jake is saying that put a letter together explaining your concern and send it to the surrounding farms. I think that that's a really good idea. And just like being like, we're just trying to figure out what's going on because, you know, we bought this land to grow our own food. And, you know, we don't want to encroach on you, but at the same time, we don't want to be encroached in on. Oh,
what's he saying?
He can
vapor drift can come from how far away?
A mile away.
Okay, so that's tough. I mean,
I hate to say this, but moving
he's thinking about
option.
Moving, but
I know, but I hate to.
And that's not maybe what Adam's looking for tonight. He's just looking for how do you get through it. He's not necessarily looking for the solution right now.
I think just knowing that bad stuff happens and there's nothing we can do about it.
All right.
But I'm not even good at that, so.
I know it's easy to say that.
I mean, like, yeah, but I mean, how long did I cry for after Violet? 4 weeks. I was still bawling my eyes out after we killed her.
Still hurts to see her on a video.
Yeah. We can be the shoulder to cry on, Adam.
Good. I'm glad we're that for you, Adam.
Cindy says most of the time they try to spray on non-windy days because they want to keep most of their spray to be effective for them.
Yeah. So it could have been a once thing, Adam. Okay, let's answer this broody question and we will sign out.
Do that?
It's question number two. I have a second broody hen. It is due to hatch any day. I was checking her out this morning and one of the eggs was starting to crack open. Next thing I know, she picked the egg and eat it. What is happening? Is this normal? I thought broody mamas would be easier than using an incubator, but now I'm having second thoughts. Yes, Diana. You're not alone in that. Broody hens are not necessarily easier or as successful. It's like incubators are.
They're easier on the end of not having to take care of the chicks.
They're at the broody stage.
At the end of it, after the chicks are hatched.
Yeah.
Something that you can do if you want, like you have a broody hen and you have eggs in your incubator, you could slip the chicks underneath her and switch out the eggs. That's an option. But I feel like that could be normal.
So okay,
so was the chick partially formed or what?
In that case, we would not use that broody hen again. Like there's going to be these traits, and whether she's lacking in a mineral or protein, you still don't want a hen that she's gonna pass that tendency down into her offspring. So we definitely wouldn't breed that one. We would mark her and just not breed her. But I don't know if you're doing a breeding program or not. But even then, I wouldn't necessarily keep her around as a broody hen if she's gonna eat the eggs. And it may just be a freak thing. She may have just ate that one egg.
Part-time spermies like silkies for broodies, and they always use hens, so she doesn't have a comparison.
Yeah,
we have used both, and I prefer the broody hen over the incubator.
Well, the problem is you can do so many more in the incubator.
Yeah, you can.
So it depends on how many you're doing. You can do so many more. The success rate is about the same.
Yeah.
We never, how they say don't count your chickens before they're hatched? There's a reason. You get 8 eggs under that chicken, 8 are not going to hatch.
Yeah. I mean, Jonas set his broody hen, and he had 5 hatch out, and then 2 died from various reasons. So then he only got 3. And like, I had a really bad success rate. It could have been, I don't know.
I look at it as the strong survive, and the ones that are left, if she doesn't eat them all. I mean, if she keeps eating them.
You might just want to cull her.
So, how'd it go?
Pig food.
Like, from the time you asked this question till now, how is it going? She's still eating eggs? If you're still here, Diane.
Diane is here.
Okay. So,
bye, Cindy.
Cindy's going to her live show. If y'all folks want to follow her, that's at 9 at Part-Time Spermy. Wealth of information, guys. Cindy at Part-Time Permies.
She said 6 to 8 full-sized eggs can go under a silky, or 10 silky eggs.
Wow.
Holly wants to know how.
Michael. Bye-bye, buddy. Didn't even know you were here.
I know, Michael. Cindy did say he was in the chat. 2 years old is the question. The hen is 2 years old.
Yeah, that's a fine age. It could have been. And Linda says it could have been one-time incident. Let's see. Diane hadn't said whether or not she's done it again with another one. So, I mean, if you take her off, you're going to lose the eggs. So you might as well keep her on and see what happens. It's rough. It's rough hatching your own eggs.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder.
Homesteading is rough. That's why we try to show the bad and the ugly as well. It's not always unicorns farting rainbows. Actually, it very rarely ever is. Is it ever?
There's some.
You can't even sit on the porch and enjoy the beauty because you're thinking, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that.
Well, you got to learn how to be like, I got to do all these things, but that's okay. I'm going to sit here and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's the last 2 questions brought down the mood.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey,
well, but it's the reality.
That was Adam
of it.
saying that. He was one of
I
the,
know.
He was one of the questions.
But that's
okay. How are we going to bring this mood up?
But that's the reality of homesteading, and I think that we have to, like, if you don't,
because like note to end on.
Was it the?
No, it's the reality.
Was there a question recently or something, or we showed something, and someone was like, "That's why I love watching you because you don't." It was some problem we had, and they were like, I was wondering if I was the only person that was failing at this. And I'm like, I mean, y'all, I don't think I've been in my garden for over a week because of this kitchen. And I'm like, I got to get out there at some point soon. I don't care if the kitchen doesn't, like, it's so hard balancing it all. Like, I feel like I'm in the basement or in that kitchen, and then he gets sick, and it's just like.
And that was the hand in May. And now it's the foot in July. We were both hurt in May.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I wish we could sugarcoat it. Sometimes I'm like, I just like.
It's hard to show the difficult stuff.
Yeah, it is because
you're open to criticism.
Well, you feel like a failure. I mean, I'm reading Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and it's so good because it's all about like being vulnerable. You know, like us showing the ugly is us. We are opening ourselves to criticism, but at the same time, if we don't do that, then you guys don't see that. And we need to do that. Roads are the walking wounded. Yeah, if it was easy, everyone would do it, I suppose. But what was it? Roots and Refuge. I got to share this. I've shared it on my Instagram stories today, and I really liked it because it just was so perfect. It was from 1886, and it says cheaper vegetables ? I'm often told it is cheaper to buy fruits and vegetables than to raise them. I have nothing to say in reply. There are many cheap things we can have. Experience has proved that one of the best things we can have is a garden, either to work in or to visit daily when the season permits. We have but one life to live here, and to get the cheapest things out of it is rather poor ambition. And I just like that because it's like, yes, like,
why do we want the cheapest things in life?
We don't want the cheapest things in life. Like,
that's a good point.
Like it creates, and like with Jonah the other day, you know, like he got so upset because like he was having such a hard time milking the cow, and like she kept kicking it or putting her foot in it or whatever the things were that was happening to him. And I was like, again, the Daring Greatly book came out, and it was just like, if everything went perfect in our lives, like we wouldn't learn anything.
That's what Claire said. If you sugarcoat everything, you wouldn't learn anything.
Preach.
Yeah, what'd you tell Jonah the other day about failing?
What did I say?
When he milked for himself.
When you fail, you learn.
Yeah. And
I mean, like, yeah, we learned that we got crappy sheep from somebody.
Yeah, well, you can't.
And that we can't do that.
Expect to buy sheep that have been raised for generations. On vaccines
and dewormer. And then try to put them in it.
And expect them to be okay.
Well, we could have if we would have started. I firmly believe in my heart, if we would have started the herbal dewormer the moment they got here, I feel like we could have changed it.
Yeah.
But we didn't know.
And I guess why I brought up all this conversation brings it back to that sheep, is the difficulty of the sheep. It was such a setback. Where was I going with that? What's it saying there? It just set us back really, really far. Oh, we learned so much.
We did.
Because having those sheep and then having that break from the sheep, we made a member video, and it's like 30 minutes long about everything that we learned.
Yeah. We'll put that in the member video.
We learned so much.
We really did.
It's like that was a mistake, is taking them from a conventional farm and expecting them to thrive in this natural farm.
Well, I have to say, they thrived for a pretty long time.
I know, and it was probably because of our
rotational
moving them
grazing
every day.
But I mean, we still lost 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott has something good. Don't look at things you have to do. Look at what you've built. So true. It's hard because, like, today I drove the kids up to my mom's house.
Good point.
And I was driving home, and I was like, oh, this needs to be done. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, the weeds around my greenhouse are to my waist, you know. It's crazy. And so it was just like, you know, I don't know, you know, I was just like, but that's good. Look at what I've built. And Shane wants to know who told Jonah to check for boogers while filming.
Oh, he's seen me do that. That's for sure.
He's seen us look. Because let's just say, I bet Justin not. Let's just say Justin shot many shots before, and I'm like editing it. I'm like, we can't use this. You got a booger. And Jesse, Mike and Jess from New Hampshire, they finally figured out how to join the chat.
Yay! Yay!
But now, Jesse, you know how to do it. And so you can join us the next time.
I hope so. That'll be fun. So, yeah, guys, thank you for your input early on. We're going to have to check out. It's 9:06 back. We got a call for the kids. It's so fun hanging out with you guys.
Adam says he built an herbicide farm.
Okay. From the guy who brought it up. Ends it on a funny note. Seems like you're getting through it, buddy. Okay. And we want to say good night to you guys. Thank you for the input early on about possible guests. So we have invited Jason and Casey officially going into the fall registration. We're also getting videos from them and many others into the fall, and it's going to be good. Like, the member area is expanding into a network. Now Uncle Justin is bringing you his
other
brothers and
people.
sisters. So you have more aunts and uncles, I guess, to contribute to the groups. It's going to be more of a network and not just about us. We're expanding because I don't know everything. So we're going to bring others in. It's going to be amazing. I look forward to that. More discounts coming for you guys from different tools. Good night to you guys. We love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for hanging
out. You guys
out.
make all this possible, and big things are happening through this family on the YouTube channel, and we're reaching a lot of people. You guys and us, okay? Supporting this, you know, contributing financially to this, giving us encouragement and your kind words. You're supporting what's happening here. And we're able to inspire literally tens of thousands of people to grow more food. And so when that happens, we're going to have less of these herbicide issues on scale. There's going to be less and less people even wanting to do that.
I will say this, Gabe. Not Gabe. Adam. Gabe Brown has a book, Dirt to Soil. Maybe you should buy however many farms around you have. 5, 6, 10 you know, if there's 10 farms, buy 10 copies of the book and just send all the farmers around there, just asking them to read it, because Gabe Brown makes really good cases in that book. I just read it last month about not using fertilizer, not using herbicides, and how to make your farm regenerative and profitable. And I mean, I don't know, they may be struggling. I'm just saying, yeah, hint, hint. Just be like, it's a really good book. You know, maybe you want to read it first. And then, I don't know. I don't know how you could do that. But I'm just saying, like, Gabe is talking to people like this, like the people that are around you, the farmers that are around you. That is who Gabe's talking to in that book. I mean, I got a lot out of it, not being that. But I'm just saying, it's a really good book.
All right, we're gonna sign out.
Okay,
the kids are here. Grandma's spent her
coming.
time with them.
Yes, Grandma's amazing.
Get them back, put them to bed. We'll see you guys tomorrow in the vlog. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks on the show.
Yes, we're not seeing anybody tomorrow.
I can't figure out how to turn this off.
Hey guys. Here comes
Hold on, we're still online. Rebecca, I haven't figured out how to turn it off. Maybe Rebecca can help me.
Go to, not that, this.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's down here.
There it is.